top stories tonight in Y News. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese welcomes President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and other leaders at the official welcome ceremony of the ASEAN Australian Special Summit in Melbourne. A House leader calls for a restructuring of the National Food Authority rather than its abolition. The Philippine Navy reports that the situation in the West Philippine Sea is not normal anymore due to China's non-stop aggression. And we will discover why North Korea warned South Korea and the United States over Freedom Shield exercises. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Tuesday, March 5, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Harleen Delgado. First in the news. The 2024 Associations of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN Australia, formally opens today. The Australian Prime Minister has expressed his interest to deepen its cooperation and investments in ASEAN. Nelma Ribohok reports.
Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese welcomed President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and other leaders at the official welcome ceremony of the ASEAN-Australian Special Summit in Melbourne on Tuesday, March 5. In his speech, Prime Minister Albanese told the ASEAN leaders that the gathering is a celebration of every citizen's achievements over the past 5 decades of deepening economic cooperation, broadening two-way investments, and strengthening the bonds of trust and friendship.
Australia's two-way trade with ASEAN is worth around $180 billion a year. Our investment is over $300 billion. That's the level of engagement we bring to this forum. That's the foundation we want to build on. ASEAN is set to be the 4th largest economy in the world by 2040, and Australia wants to be a partner in this growth and prosperity, not just an observer.
The Australian PM said the ASEAN Summit is not only an activity of the government leaders, but also of the business leaders and innovators who have helped shape the economic landscape of the ASEAN region. He also welcomed representatives from various civil society and education sectors who have shared their ideas, accelerating the transition to clean energy and addressing the environmental challenge of climate change. President Marcos is in Melbourne, Australia for the ASEAN-Australia Special Summit and secured at least $1.53 billion or 86 billion pesos investment deals from the business community in Australia. Nelma Ribohok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
House Deputy Majority Leader and ACT-CIS Party List Representative Erwin Tulfo is calling for a restructuring of the National Food Authority rather than its abolition. Meanwhile, in a related development, 2 ranking members of the House of Representatives have voiced their stance on addressing inflation. They assert that the government should prioritize addressing issues surrounding rice production and distribution. Rosa Licos will tell us why.
Following the 6-month preventive suspension imposed against the National Food Authority Administrator and 138 other officials and employees of the agency, House Deputy Majority Leader and ACT-CIS Party List Representative Erwin Tulfo wants the agency to be restructured rather than abolished. The Solon criticized the alleged involvement of this NFA personnel in the sale of rice buffer stocks.
Siguro kailangan, hindi naman buwagin siguro, but rather restructure. Binenta mo lang pala ng mura, ba't hindi mo lang binenta sa palengke? Dapat po talagang panagutan nila yan. Samantala mga kababayan natin cannot afford to buy ng mga bigas sa mga nasa 30-40 pesos.
Other lawmakers laud the action of the administration against NFA personnel involved in the alleged anomaly. They also want to look into private individuals linked to the irregularity as well as to evaluate the mandate of the NFA.
perhaps we have to do an extensive evaluation of the mandate of the NFA and whether or not this is being fulfilled at the moment.
Hindi lamang dapat sa mga public officials involved nakatuon ng investigasyon, pati na rin po sa mga pribadong individual na kasabwat po nito ng mga public officials natin ay makasama din dapat sa mga makasuhan.
House Resolution 1611 has been filed to direct the Committee on Agriculture and Food to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on the alleged improper sale of NFA rice stocks to selected rice traders. The Senate also wants to investigate on the issue. Meanwhile, lawmakers tell the government to focus on the price of rice to address inflation. This after the Philippine head inflation accelerated to 3.4% in February 2024. Economist Solon Albay 2nd District Representative Joey Salceda said the intervention of the Department of Agriculture and the Cabinet as a whole must be laser focused on rice. This was echoed by House Assistant Majority Leader Nueva Ecija 1st District Representative Swansing.
Dahil ang pinaka-tumataas ang presyo ay ang bigas, kailangan siguraduhin ng ating gobyerno na mayroong paraan na magkaroon po ng access yung ating mga kababayan sa mas murang bigas. Kaya mahalaga po na siguraduhin ng ating gobyerno na handa tayong tulungan yung ating mga farmers.
Other pro-administration lawmakers say the government has been distributing rice and cash assistance to those severely affected by inflation. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, revealed that they are lacking time regarding the proposed early conduct of the plebiscite for charter change. Dante Amento tells us why.
Commission on Elections, or COMELEC Chief George Erwin Garcia, said they are now burdened with the preparations for the two elections in 2025. These are the May 2025 midterm polls and the December 2025 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan Elections, or BSKE. Among the election preparations is the continuing voter registration that aims to have at least 3 million new registered voters.
Nagigipit na kami sa panahon. Kulang na po kami sa oras sa paghahanda natin para sa eleksyon na dalawa. May eleksyon sa 2025.
With the foregoing reasons, Garcia clarified on Tuesday, March 5, that they would be lacking time for the proposed conduct of a plebiscite for charter change earlier than the elections of this year.
Tayo po ay nasa buwan na ng Marso and magkakaroon pa po ng massive procurement, magkakaroon po ng preparasyon and hindi na po kakayanin siguro kung ngayong pang taon na ito mahuhold ang ating pong plebisito.
In addition, a national plebiscite would need a 13 billion pesos budget. Meanwhile, regarding Attorney Romulo Macalintal's statement that a plebiscite cannot be done simultaneously with the elections for being unconstitutional, the poll body said it's too premature because the debate is still ongoing in Congress.
Pag sinabi po nilang pagsabayin, ginagaransya po natin sa sambayan ng Pilipino, kaya po ng COMELEC na pagsabayin ang eleksyon ng 2025 at ang plebisito para sa pagbabago ng saligang batas.
Dante Amento, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. spoke to the doctor of former First Lady Imelda Marcos. In a statement, PBBM said the former First Lady is suffering from slight pneumonia with fever and put on a course of antibiotics. The president said the doctors are confident that this will relieve her fever. He added that his mother is in good spirits and has no difficulty in breathing and resting well. President Marcos is now in Melbourne for the ASEAN Australia Summit. For the third time, religious group leader Apollo Kiboy snubs the Senate investigation into his alleged abuses, prompting a senator to recommend his arrest. But this was opposed by another lawmaker. This report will tell us why.
As the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality resumes its inquiry into Kingdom of Jesus Christ or KOJC leader Apollo Kibuloy's alleged offenses, including human trafficking and sexual abuse. Several supporters of Kibuloy rallied outside the Senate to stand in solidarity with the religious leader. Their rallying cry, protect Kibuloy, and for Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Hontiveros to resign. Kibuloy once again did not attend the Senate inquiry, causing Hontiveros to cite him in contempt and request for his arrest. In a letter, Kibuloy's counsel argued that a subpoena in attending the inquiry violate Kibuloy's constitutional right against self-incrimination and presumption of innocence until proven guilty.
Hindi po obra ang ganitong mga excuse. If we allow witnesses of the Senate to simply claim that appearing before a committee would violate his or her constitutional right to be presumed innocent and his or her right against self-incrimination, wala na pong kapangyarihan ang ating Senado maglunsad ng mga investigasyon. This committee requests the Senate President to order his arrest so that he may be brought to testify.
However, without citing any reason, Senator Robin Padilla objects to the contempt order.
Ang akin pong mga kadahilanan para humingi ng ng pagpapakumbaba at ang karapatan ng pag-object, ang hindi pagsang-ayon. Napag-usapan po namin ito ng mahal na senadora na aking pong ginagalang.
Hontiveros says, based on Senate rules, a majority of all the members of the committee may reverse or modify the contempt order within 7 days. Since the committee has 14 members, including the ex-officio members, Padilla needs to gather the support of 7 other members for a total of 8 objections in order to overturn the contempt order. The opposition lawmaker appeals to the committee members to stand with the witnesses.
Manindigan kasama ng ating mga kababayang biniktima ni Kibuloy para i-sustain yung pag-cite sa kanila in contempt.
Meanwhile, 2 overseas Filipino workers who are former members of the KOJC testified on the alleged quota for remittances and marriage scam.
In everything we do, like mag-loan, mag-solicit, pagtinda, everything that earns money, kahit magbalib-balintong ka, basta may money ka na i-remit sa kanila. And individually, you are given a certain quota. Ang promises po ni Pastor sa amin, if we dedicate ourselves during the time of month of blessings, it is equivalent of 10 years of blessings sa mga buhay namin.
Sabi ko, ito na yung after na yung nahuli siya sa Hawaii kasi iyon talaga sistema nila. Collect money from North America, ikarga nila sa jet para dalhin sa Pilipinas na walang fees, walang bawas. Niluloko mo yung mga tao na nangolekta ka para sa bata. Yung pala pang gasolina lang pala sa jet kasi babiyahe mula Luzon, mula Davao papunta sa Maynila.
Meron pong kulang 100 na kasalan po dito sa Kingdom ni Pastor Kibuloy na puro peke. Dito lang po sa Canada ha.
Oh, wow.
Para lang po ang isang worker ay magkaroon ng status kasi gusto nga nilang manatili sa bansa illegally. Kasi illegal na nga sila pumasok po dito eh.
Hontiveros plans to invite the Anti-Money Laundering Council in the next hearing, where a new batch of witnesses will also be presented. Jorlene Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, the United States and South Korea launched their annual spring military drills on Monday, prompting North Korea to respond with a warning to halt the said drills. Annie Mancilia will give us the details live. Yes, Annie, good evening.
Good evening, Maeve. North Korea's defense ministry deters the United States and South Korea to stop their annual military drills, which commence on Monday, March 4. This is due to North Korea calling the annual drills, also known as Freedom Shield exercises, as rehearsals of war and warns them of consequences. According to North Korea's defense ministry spokesperson, the North denounces the military drills and deemed as frantic and reckless. Moreover, the official warned that a spark may ignite a nuclear war, and both United States and South Korea shall pay a price for the choice. Furthermore, he added that these drills are never defensive but an attempt to invade North Korea. Meanwhile, the US and South Korea's annual drill set for March 4 to 14 kicked off with twice the number of troops joining compared to last year. According to Seoul and Washington, these Freedom Shield exercises are defensive and aims to neutralize the North's nuclear threats, including cruise missiles that could carry nuclear warheads. Back to you, Maeve.
Thank you, Annie Mancilia, live from Singapore. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harleen.
Thank you, Maeve. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. In a concerning incident, a Philippine Coast Guarder PCG vessel and a Chinese Coast Guarder CCG vessel collided due to what appears to be intentional blocking by the CCG vessel. The clash occurred when two Chinese Coast Guard vessels attacked a smaller civilian supply boat named Onizame 4 with water cannon fire while it was en route to Ayungin Shoal for a supply mission. As a result of this aggressive action, the glass of Onizame 4 shattered, causing minor injuries to 4 Philippine Navy personnel on board. In response to the damage and injuries sustained, the supply boat promptly returned to the mainland of Palawan. Further escalation ensued when Chinese Coast Guard vessel 21555 performed a dangerous maneuver against the BRP Sindangan, one of the PCG vessels supporting the supply boats. This maneuver resulted in structural damage to the PCG vessel.
There have been reports of a collision between BRP Sindangan and a Chinese Coast Guard vessel because of the illegal actions conducted by the CCG. Onizame 4 was also hit by water cannon. We are awaiting updates on damage to Onizame 4.
The National Task Force for the West Philippine Sea condemned China's actions, stating that they endangered the lives of Filipino people. This provocative behavior stands in stark contrast to China's calls for peaceful resolution and dialogue regarding the West Philippine Sea issue. The Philippine Navy has highlighted the gravity of the situation, emphasizing that China's actions pose a significant challenge.
I would consider China a clear and present challenge to the Philippine Navy in the West Philippine Sea. The situation is not normal, it's not anymore normal, but we are up to the challenge.
Amidst these tensions, the Onizame 1 successfully arrived at BRP Sierra Madre to deliver supplies to the soldiers stationed there. The Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, has summoned a Chinese embassy official following the recent incidents in Ayungin Shoal. In a statement, the DFA says it summoned Chinese Deputy Chief of Mission Chow Shiyong to convey the Philippines' protest against the aggressive actions made by the Chinese Coast Guard and maritime militia during a rotation and resupply mission in Ayungin Shoal. It adds that the Philippines underscored that China's interference with the Philippines' lawful activities is unacceptable. The Philippines also demands Chinese vessels to leave Ayungin Shoal's vicinity immediately. The agency notes that the Philippines exercises sovereign rights and jurisdiction over Ayungin Shoal, which is within the country's exclusive economic zone. In other news, the Philippine National Police, or PNP, issues a stern warning to the public regarding scams proliferating on social media platforms during the summer vacation season. According to Police Colonel Jean Fajardo, chief of the PNP Public Information Office, there has been a disturbing increase in vacation scams recorded from 2021 to 2024. The PNP has documented a total of 478 cases during this period, with 39 cases reported in 2021 2021, 91 in 2022, 313 in 2023, and 35 cases recorded thus far in 2024. The modus operandi of these scammers typically involves offering enticing vacation packages, inclusive of plane tickets and hotel accommodations, at significantly lower prices than usual. However, upon arrival at the destination, victims often discover that their reservations do not exist.
So, ito yung sinamantala ng mga scammers na dahil nasabik mag-travel, magbakasyon yung mga kababayan natin, kung ano-anong mga packages ang in-offer nila, travel packages, and even within Asia lang, ang mura, makikita mo, may mga pisong travel trip o back-to-back na napakamura. Sabi nga nila, if it's too good to be true, di ba? Yun ang lagi natin, probably it's not true. So, mag-ingat po tayo na hindi po lahat ng nag-o-offer po ng cheaper price ay totoo po ito.
In light of these alarming trends, the PNP advises the public to exercise caution and transact only with legitimate travel agencies to avoid falling prey to scammers. Vigilance is key in safeguarding oneself against fraudulent schemes, especially during peak travel seasons. More resource persons from the technical vocation and private education sector attended today's resumption of charter change hearings in the Senate. Led by Senator Sonny Angara, the Senate Subcommittee on Constitutional Amendments continued its exhaustive discussions on the issue of foreign ownership in Philippine higher education institutions. Jed Neresina details why.
Commission on Higher Education or CHED Chairperson Prospero de Vera III has expressed support in the continuation of Senate hearing on constitutional amendments.
The Commission interposes no objection to the proposal to amend the Constitution to open up control and administration of higher education institutions to foreign nationals.
According to De Vera, this will provide more options to students who want to continue studies in foreign universities. He said this will also help in internationalizing higher education and increasing the enrollment of foreign students in the country. Meanwhile, Department of Science and Technology Philippine Science High School System Deputy Executive Director Rod De Lara said that they also have no opposition to allowing foreign schools in the Philippines.
The PSHS system being the country's premier STEM high school, catering to Filipino scholars with high aptitude in science and mathematics, welcomes all government initiatives that will improve the standards of education in the country at all levels.
Additionally, on basic education, Senator Sonny Angara stands firm on keeping this close to foreign investment. He reiterated his stance on keeping basic education close to foreign investment, stressing the importance of preserving values formation and nationalism instilled in the country's basic education system. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Special Action and Intelligence Committee for Transportation has clarified that the busway is designated for emergency use only, specifically for ambulances. JP Nunez will tell us why.
The Special Action and Intelligence Committee for Transportation or SAIC has issued a clarification regarding the usage of the EDSA Busway, emphasizing that only ambulances with patients en route to hospitals are permitted to utilize the lane.
Lahat naman po tayo nagmamadali. The only reason for ambulances, the use of ambulance, sirens and blinkers for that matter, is for life and death or emergency purposes.
This statement follows an incident where 3 ambulances were issued violation tickets yesterday for using the busway improperly. Based on SAIC's report, these ambulances changed lanes upon encountering heavy traffic on EDSA and then activated their blinkers upon entering the busway.
Ang tanong namin dun sa driver, bakit ka naka-blinker? Bakit ka nasa EDSA bus carousel? Kasi nagmamadali kaming pabalik na sa aming pinanggalingan. So, may emergency ka ba? Simple lang, wala na. So, pabalik na, so hindi na dapat sila naka-blinker, hindi na sila dapat nakawangwang, at higit sa lahat, hindi na sila dapat dumaan ng EDSA bus carousel.
The enforcement of stricter rules to apprehend erring ambulances stems from a conference held by SAIC with the Department of Health and TESDA. The agency has received reports indicating that some ambulances using the busway do not meet the necessary exemptions outlined in existing regulations. Among these cases are ambulances lacking a certificate of license to operate issued by the DOH and patient transport vehicles that are not authorized to use blinkers and sirens. It's important to note that patient transport vehicles, unlike ambulances, typically transport individuals with non-life-threatening conditions.
Yung bang patient transport vehicle, hindi naman siya ambulance, patient transport vehicle, pwede bang gumamit ng wangwang o siren? O wangwang or yung blinkers. Kung hindi ka ambulance, patient transport vehicle ka, hindi ka nasasakop nung mga pinapahintulutan na gumamit ng blinker at saka wangwang under Presidential Decree 96.
SAIC reminds medical institutions operating both public and private ambulances to obtain a license to operate from the DOH to avoid fines during inspections along the busway. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And in other global news, Apple has been fined $3 billion by the European Union for complaints made by music streaming services such as Spotify. This after an investigation found anti-competitive practices which limited competition and benefited its own music streaming service, Apple Music. Spotify and other app providers also argue the 30% fee charged by Apple's App Store for apps and in-app purchases. European Competition Commissioner Margareta Vestager says Apple puts its users at a disadvantage by restricting app developers from openly promoting cheaper music subscription services available outside the Apple ecosystem. Apple responded by stating its intention to appeal the fine and called out on Spotify as the usual or actual biggest beneficiary for this decision. Apple added that it already announced plans to allow EU customers to download apps outside the App Store to comply with the Bloc's Digital Market Act or DMA. The DMA was established to regulate major tech firms such as Apple, Microsoft, and Meta. Colorado's effort in removing ex-President Donald Trump's name from the 2024 ballots has been unanimously rejected by the United States Supreme Court. Paul Gatchalian tells us why.
On Monday, March 4, the decision made on December 19 under the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution to remove ex-President Donald Trump's name from the 2024 ballot was reversed. The amendment consists of a section which prohibits people who had been part of an insurrection from holding public office due to his alleged partaking on the attack on the United States Capitol back in 2021. The Supreme Court also elaborated that while states can disqualify people from attempting to hold state office, they have no power to enforce Section 3 under the Constitution in respect to presidency. Upon hearing the decision to reverse the amendment, ex-President Trump rejoiced and posted a statement on his Truth Social platform stating that it was a big win for America. Meanwhile, Trump's name will be in all the ballots of all 50 states this coming November if he succeeds in the Republican presidential nominating contest. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Mavian Dog, live from Australia. Good evening.
Experts offer crucial advice to the public. Monitor your weight and adopt a healthy lifestyle to prevent health complications associated with obesity. Gladys Tuabi will tell us why.
The World Health Organization has unveiled a concerning statistic, revealing that 1 in 8 individuals worldwide are currently living with obesity. This condition not only affects physical appearance, but also has profound implications on various vital organs, such as the heart, liver, kidneys, joints, and even the reproductive system.
Obesity po is a condition, no? It's a chronic condition. So, sakit na ho siya talaga, no? Chronic disease. Ay ibig lang sabihin, no, na medyo meron tayong excessive fat, no, sa katawan natin. Dati ho kasi akala nila it's just part of a condition. Pero ngayon, it's a disease na po talaga. It's a chronic disease. Usually ho kasi yan lifetime na, no? Pero, parang katulad din po ng mga diabetes and hypertension, nakokontrol, na-manage. Yun naman yung kagandahan.
In the Philippines, the situation is no less alarming, with approximately 27 million Filipinos classified as either obese or overweight, as per a survey conducted by DOST's Food and Nutrition Research Institute. Worse yet, if no decisive actions are taken, projections suggest that by 2030, 30% of Filipino could be affected by this condition.
Actually ho, hindi lang ho siya talaga lifestyle, no? It's parang ano siya multifactorial po, no? Okay. Pwede ho siya kasi na meron family history, no? Pwedeng genetic, no? Pwede yung lifestyle or diet, no? Iba-iba ho. Dati ho kasi ang connotation when you say, oh, obese to, nako, ay, palakain yan. Tapos meron din ho kasing mga certain conditions, no? Na nagko-contribute din na pwede maging obese ka, no? Yung iba yung may mga hypothyroidism, may mga PCOS, yan. Minsan talagang medical condition. Or yung iba naman ho, yung nakasanayan na, cultural din.
While some may argue that obesity could be inherited, experts emphasize that preventive measures can significantly mitigate its onset.
Exercise po talaga is one of the core po talaga ng treatment of obesity. And yung iba ho, they say that at least 30 minutes of exercise, at least 5 times a week, no? Yun talaga yung pinaka-okay. They should watch what they eat, no? Kasi syempre, no, kung wala tayong exercise, actually nga, kahit lang yung walking, no? Okay na yan eh. Lalo na kunyari, sobrang sedentary na talagang forever nakaupo or dahil nga sa work, tayo ka lang, no? So, 30 minutes tayo ka, ikot-ikot ka. Yung iba nga, maka 10,000 steps a day.
Maintaining a proper and balanced diet, coupled with regular exercise, stands as the cornerstone of obesity prevention. Beyond physical activity, experts advocate for limiting sugar and high-calorie food intake, while promoting the consumption of fruits, vegetables, and other healthy options. These dietary adjustments can play a pivotal role in staving off obesity and its associated health risks. Furthermore, experts encourage individuals noticing weight gain to seek medical advice promptly. Such proactive steps can ensure timely intervention and guidance to prevent potential complications associated with obesity. Gladys Tuwabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The UNTV News and Rescue team has taken the initiative to impart knowledge on news reporting to the Rizal Police Provincial Office. This initiative aimed to bolster the dissemination of information to the public by the dedicated officers of the police force in the province of Rizal. May Viandog reports.
Instead of spending their Sunday for some rest, the personnel of the Rizal Police Provincial Office or RPPO allocated time to enrich their knowledge in information gathering and reporting. Around 40 members of the police community relations in the province participated in a news script writing and reporting seminar conducted by UNTV News and Rescue.
To further improve and unleash police officer skills, UNTV conducted its first script and news writing seminar.
Katropan Abel Martilla to Fast News, Balitang Pang-Abing.
Kami po sa Taytay Municipal Police Station naniniwala sa aksyon, mabilisan sa dapat lang. Ako po si Police Staff Sergeant Hernandez, Smile Taytay, patuloy na mag-uugnay.
According to RPPO's head, Police Colonel Felipe Maragun, this initiative is timely and relevant.
This is the first initiative in partnership with the UNTV Rescue News and Rescue team. No? Very timely, and ito yung kauna-unahang event na nagkaroon tayo ng collaboration. And hopefully magtuloy-tuloy itong mga advocacy natin na ma-increase pa yung capacity ng ating mga kapulisan. Lalong-lalo na dito sa news and script writing, na napaka-importante na maging at par with national or international standard.
The Public Information Office of RPPO appreciated the effort of UNTV News and Rescue in sharing knowledge about news reporting.
Sobra-sobra pong pasasalamat sa inilalaan nyo pong oras para sa amin. Sabi ko nga po sa kanila, yung mga bumaba dito na mga miyembro ng UNTV News and Rescue at hindi sila magsasayang ng oras para lang for nothing. May matutunan, may maiwan na kahit kaunti, sapat na. Dahil sa, kung lagi nating ipapractice yung kaunti na yan, madidevelop siya, ma-enhance yung inyong kung ano mang meron na dyan sa inyo.
RPPO's police personnel found the time they invested in gaining additional knowledge worthwhile, as it can be utilized in serving their fellow Filipinos better.
Na-appreciate namin tong pagsiseminar nyo sa amin kasi napakalaking tulong po sa amin. It's timely talaga na important sa amin to kasi lalong-lalo na po kami yung nasa PCR, kami yung nakikipag-communicate lalo na sa community, pumupunta kami sa mga barangays, sa mga school, kami yung parang frontliners pagdating sa pakikipag-communicate sa community po.
Yung pag-attend po ng ganitong training, hindi lang po siya para sa specific na unit kasi pwede po kami malipat. So at any time, pwede po namin magamit yung skills na nahon namin during this kind of training.
Malaking parte po ito sa aming trabaho kasi kailangan po namin malaman yung mga topics or mga guidelines sa paggagawa po ng magandang balita sa bawat operation po namin.
Meanwhile, on March 7, RPPO will also conduct an outreach program for barangay leaders in the province with the support of UNTV News and Rescue and the Members Church of God International or MCGI. Mavian Dog, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our Kasambahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity. We will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 9, it says, "For this thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." And those are the reasons behind the news March 5, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. Because we need to know. We will always ask why. I'm Hardin Delgado. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Australia's two-way trade with ASEAN is worth around $180 billion a year. Our investment is over $300 billion. That's the level of engagement we bring to this forum. That's the foundation we want to build on. ASEAN is set to be the fourth largest economy in the world by 2040. And Australia wants to be a partner in this growth and prosperity, not just an observer.
Siguro kailangan, hindi naman buwagin siguro, but rather restructure. Binenta mo lang pala ng mura, ba't hindi mo lang binenta sa palengke? Dapat po talagang panagutan nila yan. Samantala mga kababayan natin cannot afford to buy ng mga bigas na mga nasa 30-40 pesos.
Nagigipit na kami sa panahon. Kulang na po kami sa oras sa paghahanda natin para sa eleksyon na dalawa. May eleksyon sa 2025. Tayo po ay nasa buwan na ng Marso and magkakaroon pa po ng massive procurement, magkakaroon po ng preparasyon and hindi na po kakayanin siguro kung ngayong pang taon na to mahuhold ang ating pong plebisito.
Hindi po obra ang ganitong mga excuse. If we allow witnesses of the Senate to simply claim that appearing before a committee would violate his or her constitutional right to be presumed innocent and his or her right against self-incrimination, wala na pong kapangyarihan ang ating Senado maglunsad ng mga investigasyon. This committee requests the Senate President to order his arrest so that he may be brought to testify.